Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Edwards versus Campos fight. If you are new around here though and you haven't subscribed, please do so, if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, going into this fight, Edwards is 19-0 with 4 KOs, and Campos is 15-0 with 4 KOs. This fight is for the IBF World Flyweight title. Edwards' last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Alvarado, and Campos' last fight was a win via TKO in round 4 versus Ruiz. This is in Edwards' home country of England, of course. This is by far Campos' toughest test yet, and is his first 12-round fight. Campos, though, he does have the 3.5-inch reach advantage, I believe, and so he's going to have that little factor to play in there. This is Edwards' 4th title defence of his IBF World title. Also on this card is Hughes versus Healy for the WBA World Bantamweight title, which I think Hughes will win via unanimous decision. I think it'll be relatively convincing for her. Of course, wish the best of luck, had her on the channel before this fight, and of course things have been changing around in opponents for her. Healy coming in on this short notice, and I just don't think that Hughes is going to get outboxed by anybody, especially somebody that's coming in on short notice. I haven't really fought anywhere near this level, and I think Hughes will win convincingly. And also on this card is Johnson versus Scotney for the IBF World Super Bantamweight title, in which I think Johnson will win via majority decision. I think it'll be a close fight. Of course, Scotney's probably the one that's more wanted to win by Matchroom and all of that, but I think Johnson, she's been fighting at this level for a bit longer. I know Scotney is this up-and-comer that is been slowly working her way up and is going to get this title shot now, but I think, to be honest, I think Johnson's getting looked down upon a little bit and being underestimated, and I think her skill as a fighter is going to be too much here. I think it'll be close, but I think Johnson will be able to get this victory and via majority decision. I don't normally go for a majority decision for any fight, to be honest, but I felt like I might as well for this one. Going back to the other fight, Edwards wants big unification fights, so possibly might be overlooking this Campos fight. To be honest, if I was him, I probably would as well, because he's been ducked by this many fighters and just been kind of thrown into this fight because he wants a fight, and it's a mandatory, no, it's not even that, it's a voluntary defence, and he just wants a fight, and it's one of the only people that really took it, to be honest. But I wouldn't blame him for overlooking this. Edwards, as a fighter though, he's fast, confident, very technical, got a high IQ, been fighting at a higher level, of course, is attacking, he pounces, he has good shot selection, good movement, finds the gaps, can fight off the front or the back foot, good head movement as well, and overall a very good, well-skilled fighter. I mean, Eddie Hearn's been calling him the pound-for-pound best in the UK. Don't know if I'd agree with that. Maybe I'd have to probably have a look at it and assess it, but either way, he is that really good technical boxer, and that's something that's got him this far, to be honest. Maybe people talk about his power and possibly this lack of power, but he wins his fights by being confident, finding the gaps, using his ability, having that high IQ, and just being able to change things up, use that shot selection, be attacking at times, be maybe a bit more defensive at times, and counter well at times. And just that variety is something which has made him different from everybody else, in my opinion. He, of course, does have all the pressure for this fight. He may be open to counters a little bit at times when he does pounce, possibly. That's a minor thing, though, to be honest. Can be a bit wild at times. Can be put onto the ropes. Sometimes chooses the toughest option. I think sometimes he invites himself to be put onto the ropes just because he wants that tougher test, and he's not always getting that, and then he'll sit on the ropes and enjoy taking this pressure, which is a bit strange. But I mean, I don't think the judges are gonna be thinking, oh, he's doing this on purpose when it's happening. But I feel like to an extent he is, and that probably isn't the best habit, to be completely honest. Campos, he's quick, he wants to be on the front foot, solid footwork, changes levels well, got nothing really to lose, got a good head movement, good jab, going to have to utilise that jab though, of course, because he's got that range advantage, got good body work. I've seen a couple of his fights. Overall, he's a solid fighter, he can't be underestimated, like I've mentioned, and of course that got nothing really to lose kind of mindset is something he's going to have to go in with. going to have to utilise the jab, possibly try keep Edwards trying to counter and then just keep at the end of the jab and use his solid footwork to be able to get out of range and maybe try and be on the front foot as well in the process, which is difficult, but he's going to have to try do that. He does slow down later on in fights, so he struggled against lesser opponents, can struggle against bigger guys. Of course, he doesn't really have to worry about that against Edwards. Can struggle with range at times. He's not always finding the range the best, which is something, like I mentioned, he's going to have to try do, and if he's been struggling with that, then that probably isn't going to put him in the best of steads. Can look a bit shaky at times. I feel like he can struggle with the pressure a little bit, and when he's put under pressure, then he can look a little bit shaky, and I'm sure Edwards is going to want to put him under a lot of pressure. Can smother his work at times, not got the best of timing either, and can wait in range at times, and that just means he's getting popped off with counter shots because he's waiting for an opportunity for him to throw, but then he's waiting for too long, sitting in the pocket and just getting picked off with shots from opponents against, like I said, lesser opponents, which he has struggled a little bit in the past with. But I mean, this is Edwards' first fight with Matchroom, so he's going to be wanting to put on that kind of show and show that Eddie Hearn that why they brought him in and what the whole kind of reasoning behind bringing him in was. And that means, of course, he is the favourite for this fight, the clear favourite for this fight. And I think that Edwards will win via unanimous decision. I think it'll be a dominant display, to be completely honest. I don't really see Campos having much of a chance, to be completely fair. And possibly he might find a little bit of success behind the jab early on. But other than that, I think Edwards will be too much, especially in the later rounds, for Campos. And then, I mean, realistically, pretty much all of the big champions in this flyweight division are with Matchroom, so realistically these fights should happen, but he's been ducked so much, and so you never really know. But the three champions, Martinez, WBC champion, Rodriguez, WBO champion, and Dalakian, WBA champion, they're all who he should be fighting and who he wants to be fighting, and these fights have to be made now, especially now he's with Matchroom. But hopefully they will. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like if you did, like this, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.